Welcome to the ultimate backstage pass, the pulsating heart of the high school sports universe. Get ready to rock with the gang from the Corner to Corner podcast as they take their sports obsessions to new heights. Meet the dream team, Sean Kiper, Neil Payne, Adam Muncy, Wes Crouch, and Daron Stevens, as they unpack the secrets, emotions, and triumphs that light up our local sports heroes. Whether you're gearing up for a game or unleashing cheers from the stands, get ready for an exclusive scoop that'll knock your socks off. It's showtime.
We are back. Joining us now is Mason Moore, who is a UK pitcher, former Rowan County alum. Mason just finished his junior year, went 9-4 in 18 appearances. He has a combined record of 14-5 in college with a 4.14 ERA, 4 saves. Coming out of high school, 7th-ranked player in Kentucky and 6th-ranked pitcher. So,
well, we were clapping for you because you got his name right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because when we were going off our last show, he was like, stay tuned because we'll be back with Matt Moore.
I don't know.
No, it's there. I'm sure your mom
video evidence.
It is. I'm old and I can't read, so.
So let's just jump right in. Made it to the College World Series. Talk about that experience.
So I can say it. Sound of it. That's what we had, and it's something I'll never forget.
And as the season went on and the higher you guys moved up in the rankings, you saw more and more and more fans in those stands. And I mean, by the time the season was rolling around, it was jam-packed. You couldn't get a ticket.
It was selling out almost every day.
Yeah.
It was nice to see all the big games around.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, like, a lot of people traveled for the World Series, too. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Well, and Omaha goes all out for the College World Series, right? Like, I mean, they just open up for everybody. Everybody comes in. So I'm sure you all were all treated like royalty.
We were a little spoiled, but yeah, I think when we played 8 in, there's about 30,000 people.
Really?
It was crazy crowd.
So I guess you all are going to dance around the elephant in the room. I'm going to talk about it. Did you go to Rocco's?
No.
You don't have to answer it on air. I mean, we can talk about that.
No, Mom, I did not go.
I got a chance to. I wish I could.
Look like a good time?
I knew that you'd ask that question. That's why we saved it for you.
So they went to Rockies. They told me all about it. I wish I could have went.
So you just got to live vicariously through the show.
They said, I believe so.
So you just finished up your junior year. Looking forward to your senior year, or, I mean, potential playing at another level, particularly professional ball?
There's definitely some potential playing at the other level, but you never know with stuff like this, so I'm just kind of playing all my odds here. If I have to go back for my senior year, I will, but I have a pretty good feeling that, I think I'll be playing at the next level if I get the chance to here in a couple weeks.
Well, I know when I was trying to get connected with you and was trying to find the right date. I can't remember the guy's name that got us hooked up, but he's like, well, he can't do it that week because that's like the draft. And it's like, oh, snap, okay.
Yeah, the draft is the 14th through the 16th, so it's in a couple of days, actually. So I'm excited for that. A little nervous, but I'm more excited than nervous.
Do you have, like, a idea in your head, like, you don't have to say it out loud either, like, if I'm in X round, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make the move.
Absolutely, yeah. Just because I'm an older junior, so if I get, a certain amount, I'm definitely probably gonna take it. It all just depends. It's weird with the draft and all and how they do stuff. So.
Well, we've talked to some athletes who've gone through different drafts. Never anybody that has gone through the process of Major League Baseball. So like, there are so many rounds, and there's so like, how does that? I mean, have you talked with teams? Have you got to work out with teams? Like, how does that work?
I've talked. I haven't worked out with any. I talked to some in the fall. They don't really talk to us in the spring just because we're playing. But I've had my fair share of talks here in the last couple of weeks, last couple of days, so that's been pretty fun.
And I'm sure there's probably Major League Scouts that come out to most every college game, especially at the World Series.
Yeah, especially, all SEC series. There was some scouts there watching everybody, and then I know all the scouts are watching on TV, so I know that the scouts have been watching. They watch all of our SEC guys, so I know there's always going to be someone in the stands watching us.
So why didn't the blue mustaches catch on?
It was kind of a late in the year thing. Lopez, he was the one that did it, and I actually asked him before a team meeting before one of our games, and I was like, "Dude, when did this start happening?" Because he didn't do it at the beginning of the year, and he was like, "Yeah, I just put a poll out there on my Instagram and had people vote for it, and if we wore that color jersey, I was going to dye my mustache that color." I think he did it for good luck, though.
I mean, it was pretty lucky.
It worked a little bit. I think luck ran out a little bit, but it worked for a little bit there.
And sports guys and their superstitions, right? It's like you're not changing it unless something.
No, you can't. I'm big on that. I do that stuff a lot, especially with baseball.
What's your biggest superstition?
Shoot, I have a bunch of them. I could name a couple. One of my weirdest ones is I'll drink a thing. It started last year against Tennessee. I started it. I'll drink a shot of Mountain Dew in between innings before I go back out and throw. And then I'll do that every time I go back out there.
It's all jacked up on that.
Before I do that, and then I use my brown glove from last year because, I thought it would bring me luck to have another good year. Just stuff like that. Just you could never switch it up with baseball. And then I would drink a Monster before a game. My parents don't like that. They say it's bad for me, but I tell them, I can't switch it up now. It's doing me good so far.
So when you're not pitching, what's a day look like for you?
When in season or just like
in season?
I mean, it's really, you'll have your lift days and we'll throw. There's some days you won't throw, but for me, I'll get my lift in. I'll go for a run late at night because it's just too daggone hot middle of the day. And then honestly, I just chill at the house after that. I might mix in some yoga here and there, but I try to, once I'm done at the field, I try and just kind of relax and just kind of let my body reset.
So are there 5 in the rotation?
3.
So you don't have how many days off do you usually have before you have to pitch?
We get a full 7 days, but it's different, in the next level you get 5 days. So we got extra 2 days, and so I threw on a Sunday, and I probably had 2 no-throw days, and then the rest I was either throwing or lifting. Lifted 3 days, ran every single day. So not really any off days. I mean, you could say they're off days, but you don't really have any off days in season, really.
Well, coming from the high school level and being one of the best players in the state, you obviously played. You hit all the things. I'm assuming, right?
In high school?
Yeah.
Let me guess. Coach, I hit balls.
I wish. I didn't hit many bombs, no. But I hit.
How different was that transitioning to the collegiate level and then you're here just to pitch?
Yeah, I've always wanted to take a couple swings in college, but they would never let me.
Yeah.
They wouldn't let you do anything like basketball, nothing. They didn't want you getting hurt. But, I didn't really care for hitting. Now, my dad, he always wanted me to hit. I wasn't a fan of it, so I wasn't too mad about it. I didn't mind being a PO, but it definitely gets more boring just being a PO because most of the days you're just throwing and then you're just shagging. I wish there were some days I could have hit, but I didn't mind being a PO. It was fun. It was fun just to, because us pitchers, we kind of messed around a little bit.
Right.
You know how it is.
Right. I mean, you all talk. I mean, I bet I can hit it further than you.
Yeah, we always had that competition, and then I know we had guys after season that are done with ball. They went up there and hit. The first thing they did was try to hit home runs. Yeah. I know Ron Hagen and I hit about 8 out, actually, so that was kind of surprising. But we got some guys that can hit on the team, surprisingly.
So how many guys, are there several guys off this year's team that are expecting to get their names called next week?
Absolutely, yeah. There's probably about 5 or 6 of us, that could get picked up. The biggest thing is we lose a lot of guys this year. I know we lose like 8 of our 9 starters. So that's, I don't know. I mean, the transfer portal now, they're going to get some good guys. It's just, I don't know how they're going to be. Just so many new guys. You can never tell. It's so early on.
I did see that there were several UK players that hadn't hit the portal. Yeah. So we mentioned this earlier. Say for instance, you wind up coming back for your senior year. Are you coming back to UK?
Yes, sir, yeah. I'm not going nowhere. UK is dream school. I'm a Kentucky kid. I've always wanted to go to UK, so that's never going to change.
And Coach Mangione seems like he is a legit dude.
Yeah.
Especially his faith is on his sleeve, right?
Yeah, big on that.
Made no ends about that throughout the process and stuff. Mm-hmm. And, it's got to feel kind of special, having that type of leader now. And, he kind of got a little off to a rough start there, and then some people was like, I don't know if he was the right hire.
Yeah, my freshman year, yeah.
But I think we all know that he might be the right hire.
No, I love Coach Minch. He's something else, dude. And especially in our meetings, he would say the craziest things sometimes, and we loved it. He's just so energetic, and he loves all of us, which comes a long way. And he's always going to be there for us. And I know he's always going to be there for me. And having a head coach like that goes a long way with the success of a program.
It does look like that he just allows guys to just play.
Mm-hmm.
And then not only that, he allows the guys in the dugout to just kind of be free.
Yeah.
I mean, Kentucky was probably one of the most fun teams to watch on the field, on TV, but also off the field on TV too.
Yeah, no, Coach Minch, he loved when we did that stuff. He didn't mind it. I know some of the stuff we did was a little bit ridiculous, like with the pink hat and then the hat stacks, and they kind of got onto us. One weekend I think we got beat by Kennesaw State, and they were like, "You guys need to pick it up in the dugout. Like, there's not enough energy." And so we took it and ran with it. We took it, ran with it. We come with a bunch of random things that we did, and I think that helps us. It keeps the team more calm when usually it's the pitchers doing it. The dugout. I think it keeps the position guys a little more free and not as tense, I think, when they see us having fun out there just doing stupid things.
So, had the opportunity to play all over the United States. Where's your favorite place you've played?
There's been a lot.
I mean, Omaha, obviously,
yeah.
But outside
I'll go SEC ballpark. There's been a lot of good ballparks, but I think just atmosphere-wise and field-wise, I've got to go with. I like Florida a lot and South Carolina. I like their fields a lot. South Carolina was really good. They had a good fan base. It was obviously hard for me to throw there. I didn't throw good against them, I don't think, in South Carolina, but probably those two fields. I mean, you have a bunch of other. You got LSU. They're amazing. I mean, their fan base was incredible when we played them last year. It's just there's just so many to choose from. But if I had to choose, those are probably my three that I would choose from.
Now, the fan base here at home, like, it's gotten increasingly better.
Mm-hmm.
And, obviously this season as you all went along, but just probably the 3 years that you've been there, you've seen a better crowd come out to your all's home game.
Oh, absolutely. Especially coming from my freshman year to now. I mean, freshman year, we would have hardly anybody, at games. If we played like Tennessee, when we played Tennessee, it was a big crowd, but they're also one in the country. But midweeks, hardly anybody would show up. I didn't blame them. We were struggling a little bit, but over the years, being able to see the crowd come out and support us, it really just does mean a lot to us because it's nice, knowing people are coming to watch you play, and it gives us all the confidence in the world to want to go out there and play for them.
You talked about best stadiums. Does everybody have artificial now, or is there still some of the stadiums that's got real grass?
There's some that have real grass. I know Bama has real grass. Arkansas does. Florida does.
Do you like the artificial turf that UK's put in, or do you like playing on that natural grass?
It don't matter because I'm always throwing on dirt anyways. Okay. Yes, but for position guys, I like having that turf because it takes don't take as many bad hops. Yeah. And it's kind of easier, I think. But I don't mind it. I don't like throwing on turf. Honestly, I'd rather throw on dirt any day of the week.
So, let's say your baseball career is over. What did you go to school for? What's your major? And if baseball doesn't work out, I don't think that's not going to happen. Yeah. But if it doesn't work out, what is Mason going to do in life?
My major was communications, sports communications, and I think the only thing that I would have interest in, that's kind of weird, would be like a coach, or honestly, I looked into being like a counselor at a high school.
Nice.
I like doing stuff like that, helping people. So I think probably lean more on the coaching side, but I wouldn't mind being like a counselor or something like that.
So, you mentioned being a coach. You got a youth camp coming up.
Perfect
opportunity to kind of get the coach out there.
That's happening Saturday. We got 2 sessions, 8, 9, 10 through 14, and I had one last year. Really good turnout. I know we're having my teammate Evan Bauer is going to be working there with me, and my old coach, Coach Piercy. But it's nice to be able to help those kids, and I know they're young, but it's nice just to see all the smile on their faces and just them laughing and having fun. It makes me enjoy being out there with them when you have stuff like that.
How many kids do you have signed up for that?
I got 58 so far. Still have a couple more days to sign up. So
how do you sign up?
Thanks. There's a link I have on my Facebook, actually, and I've had people share it all over Facebook. There's a link, and you just type in your age, if you have a brother or sister, and I think that's really it. Because it's just a pitching camp. There's no position. So
is it free, or is it what's it cost?
No, that's not free. I think it's $40 a person. And if you have a sibling, it's like 20 extra, I think.
Okay.
I have to look, but I think that's what it is.
All right, guys. Well, we're going to cut to a quick commercial break. We'll be back, and we'll talk with Mason and more Kentucky basketball, baseball, shoot. We're a basketball school. No, we're not. We're a baseball school, right? We just went to the College World Series. We'll be back soon.
Special thanks to KimSoft, our title sponsor of the From Corner to Corner Athlete of the Week in Montgomery County. KimSoft, eco-friendly industrial services, is your go-to squad for all things squeaky clean in the commercial and industrial world. Based in the heart of Mount Sterling, they are your friendly cleaning wizards, serving up sparkling magic in areas like Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Huntington, and beyond. Let's turn that grime into shine. Feeling jittery about diving into the world of property? Fret not. Let Kentucky Realty Group help. Whether you're gearing up to buy, sell, or just need some guidance, let their expert team help sprinkle in some magic on your experience. From cozy condos to grand mansions, they've got your back. Seeking a fixer-upper, a slice of luxury, maybe a peaceful rural retreat? They've got the keys to all those kingdoms. Dive into their treasure trove of listings and let the property adventure begin. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by Tutu's Sweet Treats, where you can treat yourself to our divine lineup of desserts that will dance on your taste buds. Whether you fancy gooey chocolate brownies or our deliciously moist cakes, we've got a treat for every sweet tooth out there. Give yourself a sweet escape and take a bite of pure bliss. It's time to surrender to your cravings, grab a fork, and dig into our homemade goodies for a dose of sugary happiness. The team at Community Trust Bank believes in making financial dreams come true. Just like a fairy godmother, they work tirelessly to ensure their clients have the security and support they need, while also helping them create a magical future. With a touch of personalized service and a sprinkle of expertise, they guide their clients towards their goals, whether big or small. At Community Trust Bank, they are not just about managing money. They are about nurturing dreams and building a prosperous future for all who walk through the door. Join their family and let them make your financial wishes come true. They are your friend in banking. Member FDIC.
All right, so following, just continuing on there, we was talking a little bit there in the commercial. If you got 58, you'd like to get to about 70, so see if we can't find you 12 more people. Obviously, you got more Rowan County kids probably signed up for that, but one of the reasons Montgomery County, Bath, whatever, right? You'll take anybody that wants to.
I know. I got a kid coming from like Cincinnati. My mom told me.
Okay.
I think she works with the mom, or the mom knows her. So that's pretty
nice. We just had 3 soon-to-be collegiate athletes that just were on previously, and we tell our high school athletes to come on. Like, you don't realize, and I think you're starting to realize this, how big an impact as a high school athlete that you have on the little kids in the community.
Yeah, I sure don't realize it when I was younger, but now, like you said, I definitely realize it.
Right. Older. As you all went on and you see these kids, like, you might as well be Randy Johnson to some of these kids. They're like, oh my God,
that's.
It's got to be kind of a surreal moment. That, like, somebody honestly wants my autograph.
That's how it. I still get that way. When people ask me for autographs, I'm like, my autograph for some reason. I didn't know you knew who I was.
Right.
Just to have an impact like that, that's like I said, that's why you play the game.
Right, and you're obviously giving back to the community. So because the community has gave a lot to you. So
they've always been there for me.
Right, and they'll continue to be there for you. We talked about Paul Skeens. Yeah, he made the All-Star team.
Yeah, that dude's incredible. He was an MLB pitcher in college. Let me just say, I've never seen anything like him before. Throwing 102 every pitch. He's got nasty stuff. He definitely is an all-star.
And his meteoric rise through minor league baseball into the major leagues.
Yeah, he made a quick jump. I think he was there maybe a month or two, and he was just absolutely shoving. So you kind of had to bring him up. I mean, I don't know why wouldn't you? I mean, have an arm like that, you need him.
I mean, you are the Pirates.
Yeah.
And they played him a little bit last fall in the minors, and he pretty much knew that he was probably going to move through the system pretty fast. You know, the funny thing about it is I've seen arguments recently that there were, like, between him and Dylan Cruz, that, like, people were like, why would the Pirates take Skeens over Cruz? Well, now you're starting to see now that Cruz may be a bust. You know,
I haven't seen much on Cruz. I don't know how he's doing.
he's struggling.
Easy. He's on my fantasy team.
He's struggling.
Is he struggling a little bit?
Yeah.
I know in college he was
Well,
awesome.
So, I'm sorry, Wes. Go on.
Well, maybe asking the same question. You've seen a lot of guys in 3 years. Who sticks out in your mind as some of the best players that you all played against?
There's so many. For one, Dylan Cruz is definitely up there. Jack Caglione from Florida, he's there.
Dude's a beast.
Yeah, he's got a lot of power to him. He's got a lot of power.
He doesn't look like he would have a lot of power. I think he just makes solid contact because he's not like really buff.
I think every ball he hits is over 100.
Yeah.
Exit velo.
Yeah.
In person, he's a pretty big dude. I mean, his legs are tree trunks.
Oh wow.
He's 6'5", 250.
Holy man, he does not look that big on TV.
No, he's got a nice bat on him, and then you got Wyatt Langford. He just hit for the cycle like last week. I mean,
No big deal.
there's just so many. You got the Montgomery guy from A&M that got hurt at the end of the year. I mean, he's a top 10 guy, and who else? I'm trying to think of Christian Moore from Tennessee, Blake Burke from Tennessee. Trey Morgan at LSU last year. Just so many guys. Tommy White. I mean, you can name off a whole list of guys in the SEC that.
Yeah.
I like that.
The SEC just dominates college
Top notch.
baseball,
Yeah,
right?
and now you got Texas and Oklahoma mixed in there now, so it'll be
Right.
interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, both great baseball schools. I mean, Oklahoma. You know, I kind of thought they were going to kind of make a run there. They just kind of did it out there.
That's how baseball works. If you get hot at the right time.
Yeah.
That's how baseball works.
I guess you know a lot of those guys. They're all SEC guys. That's a benefit of playing in the SEC. I mean, you talk about like he was a major league pitcher in college, so like you're playing against these guys that are
going to be probably major league guys.
That are major league guys. So I mean, every night you're playing against the best of the best.
You are, and that's what's helped me over the years. I've definitely been humbled a couple of times, especially freshman year and even last year and even this year. But playing against guys like that, future major leaguers, it just helps you, get better throughout the year and through years to come.
Well, you go from your high school where arguably most players at the SEC level were the best player on their team.
Yes.
And now you go to a team that's full of all the best players.
Full of views, basically.
Right.
And
so what adjustment was that like for you, like trying to find your role on the team and where you fit in and, oh, man, like this guy's as good as I am. This guy may be better than me.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing my freshman year. I kind of thought I'd just come up here and throw, and that's just not the case at all. Especially being a freshman and these older guys, you definitely gotta find a way to help out the team in some way, and that was really my biggest thing. Like they told me my freshman year that I should have redshirted, and I was just like, that's probably not an option. I'm already 20. Like I didn't want to redshirt as a freshman as a 20-year-old because that would hurt. And so when I come back, it was really just I wanted to throw in any situation, and that's kind of what my role was. I was more of like a up 5, up 6 guy, down 5 or 6 to save a good arm, just to go out there and get us maybe an inning. I was on a real short leash my freshman year, so I didn't I threw like 20-some innings, which is good for a freshman. That's the biggest thing. I said like trying to find my role, and my role was to go in there and 5-0 game, 6-1 game, just go out there and get a couple outs, and then just transition from there.
You use the word throw. You probably went from throwing to pitching, like you learned to pitch.
I had to learn how to pitch. I just couldn't throw fastballs. Yeah. That was another big thing, and I actually had to learn how to throw off speed and locate and get guys out, not just try and strike them out all the time because it's so hard to get strikeouts at the SEC level. You have to learn how to pitch,
which again leads me back to your camp coming up. So what if I send my kid to your pitching camp, what are you going to teach them? What are they going to learn?
Definitely, I do a lot of mechanical work because that's what I had to work on the most. It's a huge thing. You got to be able to repeat your mechanics, and if you don't, you're never going to be consistent. You're never going to be able to throw consistently strikes. And I think that's, Coach Roselle, my pitching coach at UK, he did a good job with me. We always worked on my mechanics because that was really all the problem was most of the time. I was doing too much. And, my camp, I work on a lot of mechanical before they even throw a ball. That was the biggest thing because that's how when I had a pitching coach, that's what he did with me. We worked on mechanics, for a full 2 or 3 weeks before I even threw a ball.
So, because like you said, that's if you don't have good mechanics, then doesn't matter how hard you can throw.
Velo does not matter. Matters a little bit, but not a whole lot because those guys can hit velo. You got to be able to do different things.
So, would your best pitch coming in was probably your fastball?
Probably.
Is that still your best pitch, or do you have something you think is a better pitch now?
I think, the sinker has come a long way. I didn't even have a sinker. I just had a 4-seam when I got to college, and I learned the sinker my freshman year. But I think that one's done me, it's good. But I think my best off-speed, is my changeup, probably. It's come a long way. And the slider, too. My slider was horrible coming into college. They told me it basically sucked at UK. They were like, you either got to throw for strikes or you're not going to throw. And so I had to work on that one. That one has definitely come a long way, the slider.
What kind of velocity are you throwing on your fastball?
Early on in the year, it wasn't crazy. It was like 90, 92. But as the year progressed, probably 2 to 5, 2 to 6. I know in Omaha I was sitting 4 to 6, probably 94, 96 with my fastball. But I couldn't feel my body either. I had so much adrenaline, everything was feeling good that day.
So in a game like that, how much do you feed off the crowd?
A lot. I know my nerves were a lot that day, especially in the night before too. I couldn't hardly sleep, but the crowd definitely helps when they're cheering for you. Even in when you're warming up, you get warmed up so much quicker when all the fans are watching and they're yelling and you're about to go throw in front of 30,000 people, so you're kind of amped up for that, and that's it helps you honestly to before you even start throwing.
So we talk a lot on our Saturday show about the mental aspects. Was that something you felt like you were pretty confident in coming into UK, or is that something you really worked on? Because we see it all the time at the major league level. Pitchers coming, especially pitchers, they lose the strike zone. They just can't find it. So we all have bad games. We have bad pitches. We have bad innings. How do you keep that? I guess keep it going to the next. That pitch is in the past. I'm just going to keep going.
That's definitely hard to do. Considering I've had some bad outings this year, and I lost my cool a little bit. It's just so daggone hard. It's because baseball is such a mental game. You could be doing really good for 5 innings, and then, like you said, all of a sudden lose the strike zone, and that's happened to me, or just get hit. Once that ball leaves your hand, you have no control on what it does or what happens, and I think I definitely struggled with that a little bit this year with the mental aspect of things. There were some times, even last year, where I feel like I didn't fully belong sometimes because I get hit a little bit. I'm like, oh man, I suck. I shouldn't throw for a month. Yeah. I need to quit baseball or something like that.
I need to.
But it just helps, especially with the teammates. It helps having them around, and they, we had guys that always knew the right things to say to me at the right time, and the coaches, they're big on, Coach Minge always, told us, if we have a bad pitch, let it go.
Right.
He would always say, what now? So what? So what next pitch? Something like that. And and that goes a long way. But yeah, the mental thing is definitely hard. But if you have the right guys and the right team around you and the staff, then it's not much of an issue.
So let me ask you, because you made the comment there of once you let the ball go, you can't control what it does, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the major leagues this year, they have already broken the record for hit batters. Right?
Oh, they have. I didn't even know that.
Yes. So, a couple of years ago, they took away the sticky stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
And you had a lot of people that automatically got Tommy John injuries and struggling doing all that. So, it's do you think that's just everybody trying to get that maximum velocity? Because I know the harder you throw, the less control you have on it, right? But it's why do you think that's happening? Because it's like 1,200 already or something like that.
Oh, really?
It's some ridiculous number. I can't remember. I meant to write it down whenever I heard it, but it's ridiculous the amount of number of players that are getting hit.
Yeah.
Right now.
I think I've definitely done this a time or two. I think if you try and throw the ball harder, you definitely have less control because I've done that plenty of times just to see how hard I can throw. I mean, most pitchers do that, but when it comes to hitting batters, sometimes you don't mean to, but sometimes you just kind of have to. I know some of it probably is on purpose, depending on the guy. I don't know. It's kind of weird with hit batters because a ball could just slip out of your hand, or you could do something wrong mechanically, or like you said, just throw the ball really hard and just lose control. But I didn't even know they had like a record-breaking thing. It's weird with all that stuff hitting batters. I know when I've hit a batter, it's either been the pitch is just I've just lost control of it. I've just tried to throw it too hard, and it just. Goes the wrong way.
And obviously, you guys can't use the sticky stuff either, right? Because I remember, wasn't it the Texas A&M?
Their guy in the bullpen?
Yeah, they went out.
I saw that video.
I can't remember which. There was one of the games that I was watching in the World Series.
This is a Florida game.
Yeah, that you could see this obvious.
On there. As a Florida game, we was watching it at your house, and as soon as he came up on the mound, I said, he's not using sticky stuff. What's that big spot on his head?
And then as soon as we pointed it out, they go out there and they have his hat off, and they're like, "What is it?" And then they're like,
"I think they checked it too." Yeah, I don't think they said. I might have been sweat. I don't know, but I think they checked
it and said it was legal. But it was obviously.
I know there's like a trick.
Right at that moment, they were giving up some hits.
I know there's a trick that I've heard some guys do, like you get that.
Like what you did just there. There's a trick I've heard some like
that you get a rosin bag and then you put like sunscreen on and it gets your hands sticky.
Yeah,
I've heard that's like a trick that people. I have never done it. I don't want to get caught with it. I just lick my finger and then put it on the ball, which you probably can't do that either. But it's a little less obvious, a little more natural, I think.
So you obviously do a lot of baseball. I mean, you're a Division I,
it's
SEC baseball player.
Yeah.
Do you watch baseball? Like, do you do baseball when baseball's over? Like, do you follow it? Do you play fantasy baseball?
The only time I watch baseball is if I know someone playing. Once I'm done with the field, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of boring to watch. I know that's weird because I play it, and it's just sometimes the games are just so long.
It's
and
different inside.
Yeah, and I play it so much and do so much with it. Once I'm done with the field, I try not to watch it.
Yeah.
Unless it's the only thing on TV I watch. I'll watch for like 20 minutes, but I'm done with it. And I don't talk a whole lot about it outside of baseball, unless it's with my family.
So piggyback on that, what do you watch? What is your sport of choice?
Or show. Yeah.
I'm big. I watch a lot of Netflix, honestly, and I watch football, NFL, and college football, and I watch basketball. I can't really watch the NBA. I stick strictly to college basketball.
Good man.
Yeah, unless it's like the finals and LeBron's playing, I won't really watch. I'm a big LeBron fan.
So how do you feel about Bron?
I like it. I like that they're playing together.
Finally, somebody with some sense.
I like it that they're playing together.
Wait. He said he likes that they're playing together.
Now, there's
probably going to be any good.
There's probably some guys, have better stats, but your dad's LeBron. You're going to get a little more leeway, and that's just it's not really fair, but it's how life works.
It's not his fault.
He was
born as LeBron James.
Your dad's LeBron. You're going to get a little more opportunity, I think.
Adam, I could be swayed to your side if he wouldn't have taken 6 of those shots that he did the other. Because they had no chance of going in. They were awful.
There was a lot of those shots he was wide open.
It's Summer League.
I saw his stats. What, you got, like 2 for 9, 4 points, something like that?
It's Summer League. He had 4 points.
Don't make one more shot.
In NBA regular season, he's going to be
negative
0 for 0.
I'm just going to be sitting on the bench.
I'm just interested to see what happens when his dad retires. I'm interested to see what they do.
He's going to retire with him.
So you say you're a football guy.
I like watching NFL and college.
Who's your NFL team?
Giants.
Oh, my God.
What?
You're Danny Dimes guy?
I like Saquon Barkley. We traded him off. So
to the Eagles.
Yeah, they're going to be stacked. I mean, we got Daniel Jones. I think still as a QB, but
Vanilla Vic.
Yeah, we're not so good. But
so why are you a Giants fan?
It all started with Eli Manning. I was a big fan of him. Watching him play growing up when he was good, and then it all just kind of stuck. Like same with baseball. I'm a Red Sox fan, and it was because of David Ortiz.
Yeah, I mean, but he's a very
Coffee was awesome.
Yeah, I just like the way he played and how he went about it.
I mean, I was a big Manny Ramirez fan.
I liked him
just
too.
Manny being Manny.
Yeah, I liked him.
He got passes because it's like, oh, that's just Manny being Manny.
And then football, it's obviously UK, but it used to be Florida because of Tim Tebow. I was a big Tim Tebow guy. I love watching him play.
I mean, maybe the greatest college football player of all time.
I think he might. He's close.
I've asked him for a long time. How can you be a Florida and a UK player?
That is tough. That is tough. But I'm definitely
rules.
Definitely not a Florida.
There's rules involved when it comes to them playing.
Definitely not a Florida fan now. I'm definitely big on UK football. But
have you been able to attend, like, as a student, a lot of the football, basketball games and other sports?
Not really basketball, just because it's going on when we're sort of playing. Right. But football, I'm more of like I've went to maybe 2 or 3, like a Georgia game or Tennessee or Florida. I went to those games, but I'm more of like a stay at home and watch it on TV.
Yeah.
Football games just get too loud sometimes.
They don't have that little yellow line when you're at the actual game, so you can't tell where the ball is.
Yeah. But no, sometimes it gets too crowded. And I like to have my space sometimes, and I'll watch it and order food and just watch it at the house on the couch.
So being a college football fan, next Friday the NCAA 25 comes out. Are you a gamer?
I pre-ordered it a month ago. I pre-ordered that thing 3 weeks ago.
Nice. What team are you looking forward to rebuilding?
Honestly, probably UK or something. Actually, I'd probably pick like a bad team back and make him go. I like doing that. If you pick a good team, it's not as fun. But I'll pick some bad call. I might pick, if Moorhead's in, I might pick Moorhead and rebuild it.
I think you can create them anyway.
Probably could create them on Team Builder
because they're not a FBS school.
I just hope it's not like Madden. I'm not a fan of Madden.
No, Madden's
apparently this is completely different.
I've seen video. It looks different.
Yeah. I released one today with the actual gameplay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it looked all right.
Way different? Way better?
So then I guess the follow-up to that is, are you a PS5 or Xbox guy?
PS5.
Yeah!
PS5. I'm not...
Flush Quibbler 9.
Flush Quibbler 9.
So I set up. I got a PlayStation the other day, and I was just setting it up, and one of the suggested names was Flush_Quibbler 9, and I saw it, and I was like, well, that's me. That's
creative.
So I'll forever be Flush Quibbler 9.
Mine's the most basic name you could think of. I'm not good for creating names like that. Mine's basic. It's like Mason 2040 or something like that. Nothing crazy.
So, all right, guys, we're gonna cut to our last commercial break. Come back and talk more baseball.
You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by CRC Roofing and Renovations. CRC sprung into life in the year 2000 thanks to Rusty Cerniglia's bold leap into entrepreneurship. Juggling a full-time job with his small gutter venture, he watched it blossom into CRC Renovations. Fast forward to today, CRC boasts a dream team ready to dazzle both homeowners and businesses alike with their top-notch services. You're listening to the From Corner to Corner podcast, brought to you by Jacob's Auto Body Repair and Paint Shop is the ultimate pit stop for all your car needs. With a combined experience older than your grandma's secret cake recipe, we're here to fix you up. Drop us a line at 859-274-7425 for a free quote and let us get those wheels rolling. Our yearly growth is like a high-speed chase fueled by the love and trust of Mount Sterling and beyond. It's all hugs and high fives to our amazing crew of customers for keeping our engines revving with success. Special thanks to Brent Wehunt, Kentucky Farm Bureau in Frenchburg, the sponsor of our Athlete of the Month program in Menifee County. Special thanks to KimSoft, our title sponsor of the From Corner to Corner Athlete of the Week in Montgomery County. KimSoft, eco-friendly industrial services, is your go-to squad for all things squeaky clean in the commercial and industrial world. Based in the heart of Mount Sterling, they are your friendly cleaning wizards, serving up sparkling magic in areas like Lexington, Louisville, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Huntington, and beyond. Let's turn that grime into shine.
Freshmen, they play sport. What sport they play?
Girls basketball and baseball.
And we are back. Again, we are here with Mason Moore, UK player.
Stunning shot.
You're doing good.
I read the word highlighted there. So
Basic stats. Basic stats.
We have already determined written down does not matter.
no, it doesn't. And if I just stick to reading, I'd be okay.
Brent Wehunt was written down for 6 months.
I think you all just thought I was saying Brett, but it's just the way I say it.
No, he chimed in and said it's Brent.
I got a question for him. So you said something about if baseball doesn't work out, you might go into counseling or coaching or something like that. I do know that currently, as far as I know, there is an opening here in Montgomery County. So
for coaching?
So I think our AD here would be ecstatic.
Is it basketball or baseball coach?
Oh, baseball.
I'd rather do basketball coach.
No, it's really good.
Oh yeah. I loved basketball. I played. So I think I know more.
I do remember you were like top 5 scorer in the state. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I was up for Mr. Basketball my senior year.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
No big deal. MBD.
So you
Didn't even mention it till 49 minutes of the show.
Yeah, no, I think I know more about basketball than I do baseball. I can explain it better, honestly.
So how did you? Obviously, you were probably recruited for basketball too. What made you choose baseball over basketball? Okay.
Yeah, UK and common sense. I started throwing the ball a little bit harder, and I knew basketball was kind of an option, but I wasn't getting looks or offers like I was for baseball, and I didn't even have that many offers for baseball. I had like 5.
Yeah.
In like junior year of high school or sophomore year, but I was really just looking for UK to offer, and once they did, the school really mattered.
So I'm glad you brought this up because in today's time, we see parents mostly, not necessarily coaches, but they want to force their kid to one sport. Like, hey, you've got to specialize. It's either this or this or this. How important is it to be a multi-sport athlete?
It's huge. I mean, Coach Minge loved that I played basketball. I mean, and it helps because you don't want to get burnt out on one sport in high school. And I think and I played football too, but up until freshman year, because I quit. I didn't like it. My dad made me play.
Oklahoma drills made a lot of
I hated Oklahoma drill. Because I wasn't the biggest kid growing up, so I wasn't a fan of that one. But no, being a 2-sport athlete, it's huge because once you start sticking to one sport, your ceiling is way higher. You have a lot more to max out, instead of just almost maxing out in high school, then you have just a little bit of potential when you get to college. I think when most coaches I've talked to, they love guys that play multiple sports out of high school.
It's awesome.
Who was your toughest out? You've had 3 years in the SEC. Who's been the toughest guy to just get a strike out, pop out, heck, anything, ground out?
I can name a few. Actually, I just got this question asked today.
Bet he didn't have a West Virginia drawl to it, though.
No, he did not. But I'll give you 3 because there's just so many. Dylan Cruz, Wyatt Langford, another big one, and obviously probably Caglione. Those are probably my 3. And then honorable mention, I'll go Christian Moore just because he was tough out. He's a good hitter.
Well, he was on Tennessee this year, right?
Yeah.
So we know he's going to the trash.
Oh yeah, he's a good ball player.
Yeah.
I think he'll go top 2. He played at Florida with Caglione.
How did I miss that?
No, he played there.
You're a casual.
I was going to say casual Florida.
Actually, I threw against him last year, and when I threw against Wyatt, and I think it was the first pitch of the AB. I threw a fastball at 94 and off the plate, and he muscles it out for a homer. First pitch of my outing.
Mason says, that one felt good coming out of my
hand.
Yeah,
it did. And it was.
No. Did you even turn around or what?
Oh no, I turned around because it didn't sound like he got all of it, and then he's just a big dude, and so I look, and it's keep going. I'm like, well, this gonna be a long outing if that's the case. That's how it's gonna be today. But I ended up doing good. I think that's the only run given up, and if we wouldn't win that game actually, but Wyatt Langford, he's something, dude. He humbled me real quick.
What was your most memorable moment of you on the mound pitching so far in 3 years of baseball at Kentucky?
There was we have regionals last year, and we won regionals when I threw that last game for us. We had Omaha this year. I remember my freshman year, I give a home run to Jordan Beck. He's a good. Oh yeah, Jordan Beck's on that list too. He was a good ball player. I remember him taking me about 450. And then was it Supers last year throwing against LSU at LSU? That was pretty cool. There's a bunch of moments. My first ever win at UK. I remember that. There's just a bunch of moments. It would take me forever to list them all, but those are probably my most memorable ones.
Well, so on the flip side of that, you said that Kentucky was a dream school. You were waiting for Kentucky to offer you. When they offered you, it didn't matter who else offered you. That's where you're going.
Yeah.
What's been some of your favorite things that you've got to do at Kentucky?
Baseball-wise or just
in general, student-wise?
So we can say on there.
Yeah, sure.
Clarify that.
Sure. Basketball games, honestly, just even with baseball, just the bus rides with the guys. Just when they come out to the house, we just hang out, just stuff like that. I really didn't do a whole lot of stuff. I stayed at the house a lot. I didn't get out and do a whole lot. I mean, you have your typical go out to a restaurant and eat, and we went bowling a couple times, but just the basic things. Most of it was basketball and football. It was nice to go there and hang out with the guys. Like I said, I stay at home a lot, so.
Well, so you talk about going out and eating at restaurants. You just played in the College World Series. Is it harder to go out now without people being like, oh, that's Mason?
Well, actually, it's funny you say that. We went out. It was after season when we got back from Omaha. We went to some place, I forget what it's called, me and a couple of teammates, and we had people pay for all of our stuff, like all of the drinks that we got, not like Pepsis and waters, not drinks like that, but and then
Mountain Dews.
Yeah, Mountain Dews. I actually got me a Sprite that day. I didn't get me Mountain Dew, but there was people. We took pictures of people in there, and I mean it was just cool to see because you wouldn't have guessed that would have happened. Like people knowing who we were, right? Being playing baseball at UK, but just stuff like that. It's definitely cool to see,
and I mean it never gets old. I mean, you may not get used to it, but
it definitely never gets old. I like stuff like that. I like attention, so I like stuff like that.
If you get drafted here in the next week or so, you might as well get used to the autographs because the memorabilia industry now with cards and jerseys and all that stuff, you're signing your name.
Yeah, I know. My signature's come a long way from freshman year to now.
So freshman year, you just come in as this regular player on scholarship. At the time, NIL wasn't set up.
Mm-hmm.
What's been the biggest difference from there to now with the NIL situation? I mean, is it like, whoa?
He ain't eating ramen noodles anymore.
Right. It's I haven't asked my parents for money in a decent amount of time, which was good. I always bug them with money. But with NIL, especially, now, it even, goes to where people are transferring just for the money. And I think, it's nice for the college guys to have money in their pocket because college is so expensive. Like, as a college kid, you're always broke. And it's always nice, to have someone, that you can, like, I did NIL this year with Kids Cure Cancer. So that was a big one. Actually, we went to go visit the Children's Hospital like 2 weeks ago, and it was one of the best things that we've ever done. I like stuff like that, and yeah, the money's good, but I'd rather do that than honestly have the money. Seeing the kids with the smiles on their faces, and even what they're going through. It makes us. We can't really complain. If we're having a bad day, like they're having a worse day, and you can just never tell.
Well, it's good. I mean, it's good to hear from a player's standpoint. We've had a couple of college coaches on, basketball coaches on, and they talk about how hard it is now with NIL and trying to recruit stuff like that. But it's good to hear from a player's perspective because, like you said, I mean, I'm a parent of a college student. I know I'm going to be too. College students. I know that it costs a lot. They're like, Dad, I need Dad.
Always asking for money, gas money, especially gas money.
So it's good to hear from players' perspective that it helps. It really does.
It does help. It does help, and like you said, recruiting. It's definitely tough for recruiting, but with kids like me, in college, it definitely helps to have some money in your pocket.
Yeah.
With if you're going to be in there for 4 years or 3 years, however long you are, it's always nice to have some cash in there, to buy some food, get you some gas. Honestly,
but you talked about the Children's Hospital has a soft spot in my heart, and it always will. One of the coolest traditions I think in college sports is Iowa, where they turn around and wave
for the kids.
Wave at the kids at the Children's Hospital. So, have there been any sort of traditions maybe that you all started or that you all do at Kentucky that you're like, that's really like that you're going to miss? That was really cool to do.
Traditions. I mean, no, not really.
Yeah.
No, I can't. I might be drawing a blank here, but I can't think of any traditions that we did with anything, like any tradition at all, or just like with stuff like.
Well, anything that was like you didn't know that you get there and they're like, hey, this is how we do this every time, and whatever the case may be.
I guess the only thing I can think of is we always waved at the fans like after the games and everything, but nothing crazy. I might be drawing a blank, but that's probably the one thing I remember.
So whether you get drafted next week or you come back for your senior year, baseball at Kentucky is towards the end time for you. What do you hope your lasting legacy is when people think back of Mason Moore, the pitcher, and the student and the man? What do you hope they remember the most?
Just that I played the game the right way. I always want to be remembered as a kid that was humble and always competed and did his best for his guys and his team and just always went out there and just gave my best effort. All the accolades, whatever, those have never really been a thing to me. They're cool, but I'd rather be remembered as a guy, that always played the game the right way and had a good attitude doing it.
Right.
Who would you say has probably been your biggest influence in the game of baseball?
It's got to be my dad. If I don't say, he's going to kill me. But no, it really has been my dad. Growing up, he was always there for me, which is nice to have. But, I mean, even with basketball, he always pushed me to be, my best version of myself. And there have been some times where he's definitely crossed the line a little bit when I was younger, and I didn't realize it at the time, but he was only doing it, for my benefit. I've realized that now being older, and I give all the praise to him, what he's been doing, all the sacrifices he's made, and my mom. I mean, I can put her in there too. They've both made huge sacrifices for me and being able to pursue my dream with baseball.
Yeah, and, when they got started in that, they didn't realize what kind of financial burden that was going to be and what kind of time management that's going to be. But if, one, you either wind up with a college degree, or two, you wind up being drafted and playing at the next level, it'll all be worth it at that point. Right?
It will be, yeah.
That is.
It will be. Dad's always wanted, what's in my best interest, and he's big on getting a degree. I promised him I'd get my degree. So whether, if I do get drafted or if I come back for another year, I will be getting my degree somehow, some way. And it'll all be worth it. If he gets to see me pursue my dream, that's really all he's cared about. Just seeing me happy. Him and my mom both.
Well, that's something I thought about just a second ago. You were talking about being a good teammate, so on. And I got to thinking a few minutes ago when you said somebody hit you 450. A pitcher's got to have a short memory. Is there something that you do to kind of shake that off? How do you clear your head, I guess, after something like that to get your head back in the game and come back?
With stuff like that, I just, when that happens to me, the biggest thing for me is, help me forget that stuff. Is throwing a next pitch strike. Just kind of getting back in the zone, getting the groove of things. And, I'll look out in the stands a little bit. I may say a few words in my glove a little bit to help me get the anger out. But the biggest thing for me is being able just to throw another strike after that and keep attacking the zone and just kind of forget. And it was a home run. It's just, in reality, it's just one run. We got to score anyways to win. So that was the biggest thing. Just kind of, just forgetting about it and being able to attack the zone right after that.
So you mentioned, when the ball leaves your hand, it's out of your control at that point. Coming from somebody who is a coach, let me just tell you, I get more nervous as a coach as I ever did as a player.
Oh, yeah?
Because, you can practice Monday through Thursday. If the game's on Friday, at that point, you've done all you can do.
All you can do, yeah.
I can only call 5 timeouts. That's all I can do.
And with baseball, it's so, like I said, it's just so weird because it's so unpredictable. You never know. Like you said, you can do everything you need to do. If I, did everything, I had a good bullpen throughout the week, and then we get to Sunday and I throw 2 innings, it's definitely frustrating, but, what can you do? It's baseball, it's just, that's the game. That's why it's so hard.
Absolutely.
You guys got anything else?
I think we've covered a lot.
We've covered. Hopefully, you have a good turnout of camp.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope so.
Don't forget, we just shared it out on our Facebook page.
Yep.
You can also go to Mason's Facebook page.
I shared Mason's Facebook.
There's no limit on it. He'd like to have 12 or more people, to keep stacking on. He's got a 58. He'd like to get a few more there. $40 a kid, right? And then a little bit of a discount for the siblings.
Mm-hmm.
So get out there. It's going to be him, another UK player, Rowan County's coach,
Coach Pierce, yeah.
and maybe one other player.
Maybe. Just have to see on how many people show up.
Get out there, support him. Mason, we thank you so much for taking time. We wish you nothing but good luck, and hopefully you get drafted by the Braves.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you all for having me.
Or the Cubs.
Yeah. The Braves.
Whichever one. I wouldn't mind Reds. It'd be kind of cool to be close to home.
Right. Absolutely.
But you never know stuff like that. We'll see what happens.
It'll be fun to play with LAW.
Mason's like, as long as I go number one, it don't really matter.
Shoot. That ship sails. That ship's long gone.
And the first card has to come here to the table.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
All right.
Yeah, you have to save us a card.
So
next week, these two are both going to be on vacation.
We're going to be on the beach.
So it's just going to be me and Neil and Darren next week.
So you don't have to watch next week. The superstars are
It's
gone.
going to be the OG program.
You have to watch next week because we have a surprise for next week. Plus, we get to unveil Neil's birthday present on air next week.
Oh, yeah, he's nervous. That's me, too.
Because he's like, everybody knows. And I was like, yeah, everybody knows.
I accidentally gave him a hint today.
What?
No. Calm down. I said, just don't get sweaty. He's like, hey, I'm nervous. I was like, don't get sweaty hands and drop it. Well, then, I'm now more nervous.
See,
that's all I said.
this is why you got to be the guy like me who don't really call anybody because he's never called me once to ask me what's the present.
He just found out.
That's all I said.
You all knew. So, but anyways, well, guys, there you have it for this week's edition of the From Corner to Corner Coaches Corner presented by WinCity Sports Cards. Remember to help us promote our podcast, our Athletes of the Week and Month program. We do what we do for our communities, our teams, our coaches, and our students. They deserve it. Catch you guys next week.
Stay safe, friends.
The Moco Four Horsemen would like to thank you for listening to From Corner to Corner. Be sure to go out and follow us on Twitter, on TikTok, on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube. Whatever podcast platform that you listen to us on, be sure to go out and give us a 5-star review. Thanks as always, and we look forward to seeing you next week.